Hello. Today I want to talk about inner awareness and how aware you are of why you feel the way you feel. Why do you do the things you do? Do you know? Or is it everything in the external world that kind of influences how you react to your life? Because I know that if we're living in the external world, which means expectations of what other people have of you, how you feel that you should act based on what you've been told your whole life. Maybe it's achieving something or getting goals or getting the house or the job or whatever it is. Whatever it is that you've been kind of told, or maybe you believe that this is what's going to bring you happiness. If you don't have a deep inner awareness of who you are and how you operate, you're going to get pulled all over the place by life. And we can kind of start asking ourselves questions to see, what do we believe? And is that my belief, or is that something that was put on me and I'm not even sure if I believe it anymore, but I was told it so many times that I've just adopted it as my identity? So these are key questions about awareness, because once you are aware of why you do what you do and how you operate, what kind of things kind of trigger you, what kind of things motivate you to do in the world, to act in the world. Once you're aware of that, you kind of have a different sense of agency in your life. You'll start showing up differently because you know that this isn't for you on a deep level, because you tap into your intuitive self instead of kind of going with the flow of everything around you, society, family, all of these expectations of how we're supposed to be in life. So once you start tuning into, does that sit well for me? Is that the type of work I want to do? Is that the type of relationship I want to be in? What is kind of activating my nervous system right now? Is it because I'm fearful of something, or is it because I feel uncomfortable? So really kind of tuning in and asking yourself these questions, like even when you react to something and you say, well, I reacted because that person said horrible things to me, or I did all these things for that person and then they turned around and treated me like this. So these are all little gifts to show you how you react in these situations, of the work that you need to do on yourself. We can all kind of point fingers at the world and what's happened to us. I'm this way because of this tragedy. I'm that way because my mom was that way, or my dad was that way. But if we don't turn inwards and kind of work with our own awareness and the things that kind of activate us or soothe us, then we're going to be in life being at the discretion of life itself, of everybody else. So instead of chasing love or chasing worth or chasing this job or situation that we feel is going to give us some sense of peace, we all know that that's just not true. Whether it's a new relationship, a new job, a new house, a new workout routine, we all know that after the initial kind of high of this excitement in this new thing, we all know that after a while, if it's not coming from a deep, deep place of inner contentment, that we're going to crash and we're going to want that hit again. We're going to want that new thing again. Whether it's that feeling of a new relationship, a new situation, because we're searching for that hit instead of searching for that deeper kind of nurturing that we will feel once we start nourishing ourselves. And that the only person that's going to break your heart is you. You will break your heart over and over and over again. But you'll do it less and less and less once you start tuning in to what nourishes me, what motivates me. Why am I doing that? Why am I chasing that? So these are the kind of questions that we need to start asking ourselves. If we really want a true sense of knowing yourself. We spend so much time trying to figure out other people's behaviors and why they do what they do, and we don't spend that much time learning to know yourself. Because the more you know yourself, the more you're going to enjoy your life, because then you get to kind of let go of things. And the thing is that you won't even need to let go of things, because those things will let go of you. And it's so worth it, because on the other side, because we live in so much fear and heightened awareness, whether it's triggering some old trauma, whether we're afraid of being alone, of being poor, of being whatever those fears are that we all have. On the other side of those fears, when we sit with them and we see that those fears aren't as big as we thought they were, but we built it up so big in our head. We have all these attachments to these things. We build it up so much that we're afraid to live. But on the other side of those fears is a sense of peace, a sense of contentment. And when you start working on these questions, and we start reflecting back on ourselves instead of putting everything out into the world, talking about other people, judging other people, and we're not spending any time inside of ourselves. When we spend time inside of ourselves and we realize it's not as scary as we thought it was, then we really get to kind of learn. We learn about ourselves and what we like, and then we get to show up with that energy instead of a fear energy, or doing things out of obligation, doing things because you feel you have to do these to get the love back. So this doesn't mean that we don't abandon our boundaries. Actually, you'll develop stronger boundaries, because you'll know, like, this just isn't for me. No, I don't want to do that. Maybe not today. And it'll feel right. Because as we all know, when we say yes to something that doesn't feel good, we do so with resentment. And then there's this built up energy within us. And then one day we just kind of blow. And we take it out on the people around us, because we have this energy behind it all that's kind of building and building and building. And then we just snap. And everybody's like, whoa, what happened there? And even yourself, you'll say, excuse me, I got tickled. Even yourself, you'll say, wow, what's wrong with me? Why did I get so frustrated and upset about that one little thing? But it's not about that. It's about something deeper than that. So the more you are aware of yourself, the quicker you can bounce back. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden life is going to be so easy when you become aware. But when you become aware of your true kind of motivations, and we are all manipulative. We all do things we're not proud of. And even if you don't think you do, you actually do. We manipulate to get love. We manipulate to get lots of things in different subtle ways. And when you see that about yourself, you have to show up for that part too, with kindness for you, because that part of you was developed at a time that you needed to protect yourself. So we're going to see this inner awareness. We see things we like about ourselves. We discover things we don't like about ourselves. But it's all kind of meeting that with compassion, with love, with understanding, with frustration, with sadness, with tears. It's all okay. And when things come up into our life, when things kind of arrive, we will start to kind of know how to deal with it sooner. So it won't kind of spiral us for weeks and days and months. It may spiral us for a day or so, until we'll be able to kind of navigate our triggers and our nervous system in a quicker way. Doesn't mean life is going to all be rosy and beautiful suddenly. It just means we now have the tools to be able to navigate that. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. And I just see somebody walking outside the window for some reason. If you're, let me know that you're here, comment. I'll pop back in and see the comments, and I'll see you again next week.